When corruption thrives, it is the most vulnerable among us, that is the women, children, and marginalized communities who bear the heaviest burden.
By uniting our voices and resources, we can amplify our impact and drive meaningful change in our communities.
Welcome to Transparency Files, ICPC's weekly television program. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiaye. Corrupt practices and other related offenses have continued to hinder progress across all sectors, undermining trust and efficiency within government institutions. These deep-rooted issues of lack of integrity that not only drain resources, but also impede the socio-economic development of our nation. For these reasons, the ICPC continued stepping up efforts with a range of initiatives designed to strengthen integrity within the government ministries, departments, and agencies. Today's edition focuses on cutting short corruption in ministries, departments, and agencies, with the emphasis on the Commission's initiatives, such as the Anti-Corruption Transparency Units, that is the ACTUs, the System Studies and Review SSR, Ethics and Integrity Compliance Scorecard, and Corruption Risk Assessment. We shall explore how these initiatives work in Nigeria's ongoing fight against corruption. Meantime, Ruth Awodi is standing by with details on anti-corruption efforts. It's over to you, Ruth.
Welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. I am Ruth Awodi. ICPC has arraigned in court the former Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, Mr. Gimba Kumo Yao, and two others over an alleged diversion of $65 million meant for the development of 962 units of residential housing units in Kubwa district in Abuja. Mr. Yao was arraigned before Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, alongside the former Executive Director of FMBN, Mr. Bola Ogunshola, and the Managing Director of T. Brand Fortunes Nigeria Limited, Mr. Tari Rufus. The alleged offenses against the trio contravened the Public Enterprises Regulatory Commission Act and Section 19 of the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. ICPC, in a 5-count charge, accused Yao of making payment to Good Earth Power Nigeria Limited in the sum of 3.7 billion naira out of the total contract sum of $65 million for the development of 962 units of residential housing in Kubwa, Abuja, named Goodluck Jonathan Legacy City. Contrary to accepted practice, ICPC further alleged that Mr. Yao, as the then CEO of FMBN, awarded the $65 million contract despite knowing that the company lacked the capacity to carry out the contract. Justice Omotosho, in view of the not guilty plea, adjourned the matter for commencement of trial. He also granted the defendants bail in the most liberal terms. In another development, the chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, has urged women and youth to take a more active role in the fight against corruption and other social vices in Nigeria. The ICPC chairman, in his welcome address at a one-day workshop for women and youth on corruption prevention with the theme, Women and Youth Alliance Against Corruption, held at the Banquet Hall, State House, Abuja, highlighted that women and youth disproportionately experience the effects of corruption in society.
Today's workshop is not just an event, rather it is a crucial platform that aims to highlight the pivotal role of youth and women in the fight against corruption in this great country. By uniting our voices and resources, we can amplify our impact and drive meaningful change in our communities. Engaging women and youth in battle against corruption is crucial and essential because they are the first to feel the effect of this cancer, yet they are not being taken so much in this, and they hold the keys to innovation and solution and transformative leadership. The ICPC is deliberately taking on the opportunities to harness technology, mobilizing, build inclusive coalition, and empowering marginalized voices. Clearly, by engaging women and youth, our overarching objective is for our anti-corruption efforts to become more diverse, inclusive, and sustainable, leading to enhanced credibility and increased public support, innovative solutions, long-term impacts, and of course, a more just and equitable society.
In her speech at the event, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, said that corruption thrived the most among women, children, and marginalized communities who bear the heaviest burden.
The theme, Women and Youth, Alliance Against Corruption, is timely, especially in times like this. Corruption as we know it is not a mere governance issue. It is a societal challenge that strikes at the heart of development. It undermines our democracy, stunts economic growth, and perpetuates inequality. When corruption thrives, it is the most vulnerable among us, that is the women, children, and marginalized communities who bear the heaviest burden. This menace is seen in every sector, from the trader in the market to the private sector, government agencies, the judiciary, and even in places of worship, to mention a few. And age is no barrier. It is for all of us and for the future of our beloved country that we must remain resolute in our effort to combat this scourge.
The conference had leaders, activists, policymakers, and community members to address the unique challenges women and youth face in combating corruption, with the aim to equip participants with tools, strategies, and support networks to promote transparency, integrity, and accountability within the communities and institutions. That will be all on this segment. Transparency Files continues with Murna. Stay with us.
Cynthia, wahala deal. Kasala don't boast for accounts department.
What's wrong?
Some funds are missing and we have no idea how to trace the problem.
That's terrible. What can we do about it?
That is why I came to you. As the chairman of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit in this office, we need ACTUs to assist us with preliminary investigations so we can fish the culprit out.
Okay then, I will call a meeting of the ACTU and we shall look into it. Musa, how could you? You're diverting funds into ghost accounts. Have you forgotten that an ACTU exists in this ministry? It was only going to be a matter of time before you were found out.
Madam Cynthia, I did not have any choice. The pressure on me was too much. I had to pay my children's school fees, and my rent was due.
That doesn't justify stealing. We have policies in place to help you in times of need. But what you have done is a breach of the organization's code of ethics and the public service rule. In fact, it's a criminal act, and both the disciplinary committee and ICPC will have to be informed.
Please, let's keep this within ourselves. No need to tell the ICPC.
I'm afraid we have to do the right thing.
Well done, Cynthia. You and your team have done a great job. You have justified the importance of ACTU in any organization. This report will be forwarded to the ICPC.
This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Commission.
If you're just tuning in, this is Transparency Files. One of the remarkable initiatives of the ICPC towards ridding institutions of corruption is the creation of Anti-Corruption and Transparency Units, popularly known as the ACTUs. The ACTUs serve as the outposts of ICPC in the public service entities. They are designed to execute all functions of the Commission, such as corruption prevention, public mobilization, preliminary investigation, but with exception of prosecution. Our team spoke with ACTU chairpersons of various MDAs who spoke on the impact and effectiveness of the units in cleansing their organizations of corruption. Let's hear them.
ACTU coming to the board enables the board to know that we're on the right path. Just oil, grease to what he's doing. And so that has taken our fight, given it a lot of backing.
Beyond just giving us a report, they've also shown us how to measure progress. And as part of our reporting, we normally report to ACTU on our activities every half year. So they'll also see how far we've been able to extend that. And we started with looking at the major departments that are more vulnerable: procurement, human resources. Now we're looking at the monitoring, planning. We're going into all the different functions of NCDMP, and I believe that by the time we conclude that exercise, we're a better organization, thanks to the support we're getting from ICPC and that.
That's 2021. We had a good assessment, the good score in the EICS exercise, and with the sensitization and the ICPC personnel coming into NIMASA, and all that, and during the exercise, this has made NIMASA, to take this ACTU assignment seriously.
Thank you for staying tuned. Another powerful initiative in the fight against corruption is system study and review and the Ethics and Integrity Compliance Scorecard. These initiatives look into existing systems and processes within MDAs by identifying weaknesses and loopholes. ICPC can recommend changes that mitigate the risk of corruption. They are powerful tools that encourage MDAs to adopt ethical practices, providing a framework for assessment and motivating agencies to improve their scores by embracing integrity in their operations. Mr. Obani Clement enlightens us on the concept of SSRD and EICS, highlighting significant successes achieved as a result of the initiative. Let's take a listen.
System study and review means going to an organization, look at the system, how they operate, and then check if there are areas that are vulnerable to corruption. It has enhanced in the operation of organizations in the area of recruitment and federal character principle, because all agencies of federal government are supposed to have staff from every state of the federation. Those who don't have it, system study has revealed it, and they have tried in their next recruitment to make sure that they have staff from every part of the country. It prevents corruption from happening, rather than when it happens and we start chasing people up and down in the area of investigation and prosecution, which is also very expensive for government. So system study and EICS save government a lot of money in the fight against corruption.
Thank you for staying tuned. Corruption risk assessments helps to identify vulnerable areas within public institutions that could be exploited for corrupt practices. The initiative seeks to conduct comprehensive assessments in institutions, focusing on key risk areas where corruption is likely to occur. The spokesperson of the Commission, Mr. Demola Bakari FSI, who also doubles as a corruption risk assessor, sheds more light.
It's intended to put in place measures, plan to address those emerging vulnerabilities, so that the ethical, the corruption challenges that may emanate from them are properly addressed before they affect the health of the sector. So they are likely to happen, but you have measures to address them if and when they happen. It is intended to improve integrity situations of the sector being assessed. The integrity level, it addresses the ethical challenges that sector may be passing through. And the breakdown of ethics and lack of integrity would necessarily lead to corruption.
You're watching Transparency Files. In this segment, we are going to be looking at the opportunity cost of corruption. Mr. Awawe Tewase Clement, the former registrar of Benue State School of Health Technology, was arraigned by ICPC over an alleged 4.4 million naira admission racketeering. He was said to have collected the alleged sum after the sale of admission forms had been closed for the year. What does this action portend for us as a nation? Dorothy Suleiman explains.
Mr. Tewase is said to have been collecting monies from intending students, those that wanted admission. And after that was after the admission had been closed. So what does that say? That he promised them that he will still get the admission for them even after it had been closed. Now our act usually in this type of circumstance punishes the giver and the taker. Right now we are concentrating on Mr. Tewase, because what he did was a very bad act. Him being a staff of that particular school, knowing fully well that admission has been closed, still collected money from intending students to promise them that they were going to be admitted in the school. Now that is very wrong. This is because what he did, his offense is against the state. It's not against the individual. The effect of his offense boils down to the state and later boils down to we as a people. Secondly, it boosts the public confidence. This will go ahead to boost the public confidence of on the administration of criminal justice system. When you know that somebody has defrauded you and you run to the relevant agencies, you are confident that justice will be served to you.
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
You're still watching Transparency Files. With the right interventions, the risk of corruption can be drastically minimized. The initiatives discussed today demonstrate ICPC's multifaceted approach to tackling corruption in Nigeria's MDAs. These tools reflect a concerted effort to instill a culture of integrity in public service. Before we wrap up today's edition, here is an update on activities from ICPC state offices.
From Kaduna State comes a report that the chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, has encouraged the participants of Young Leaders Training Program themed Imperative on Patriotism, Peaceful Coexistence and Synergy among stakeholders across all levels organized by Kaduna State University to uphold the culture of integrity, transparency, and accountability to ensure exemplary and quality leadership in the society. Reports from Benin City reveal that the Mr. Suleiman Achille of ICPC Edo State sensitized the teachers and students of Ebenezer Secondary School and Inom Wam Foundation Education Center on the tenets of integrity and the mandates of the Commission as regards eradicating corruption in all its ramifications. The Vice Principal of Ebenezer Secondary School, Mr. Efosa Omorui, expressed their satisfaction with the initiative of the Commission in inculcating the right values to the students who are seen as the future leaders of the nation. Rivers State Office of the ICPC, in collaboration with the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit of the University of Port Harcourt, engaged student union government executives of the university in an interactive session where Mr. Obinna O. Osim of the Public Enlightenment and Education Department discussed the overview of the ICPC, its mandates and achievements. He also emphasized on the need for active youth participation in the fight against corruption. Hence sold the idea of establishing Students' Anti-Corruption Vanguard in the university. A team from ICPC Katsina State Office, led by the Resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Mr. Mahdi Muhammad Lawal, paid courtesy visits to the state's commissioners of the Public Complaints Commission and National Human Rights Commission to solicit for the Commission's support and cooperation to stamp out corruption in the state. The State Commissioner of the Public Complaints Commission, Malam Bashir Issa Kankara, commended the ICPC's initiatives that directly aimed at creating public awareness and educating Nigerians about the menace of corruption with the view of reducing it to the barest minimum. State Commissioner of National Human Rights Commission, Malam Kamaluddin Yahya, pledged a continuous support and partnership with the ICPC in stemming the tide of corruption in the state.
And that's our package for today. Don't forget to watch Transparency Files every Friday at 6:30 p.m. on the NTA Network and NTA International. Let us remain vigilant and committed to cutting short the menace of corruption in our dear nation. Until next time, stay informed and engaged. My name is Murna Barnabas Atiai. Bye for now.